So, I've just finished doing Camino. I'm recording this video to upload later this afternoon. I was, as I said in the previous video, going to upload Geonosis next, because I've already pre-recorded that. I'm not too happy with the footage I've got, so I'm going to actually be redoing that, I think. So instead, I'm going to record the Felucia map. Because I remember in the old Battlefront 2, it was actually quite an interesting map to play. Not quite as interesting as on this game. Actually, no, sorry, wrong way around. This game isn't actually quite as interesting, sorry. But, you know, it's still cool. Oh, for God's sake. I don't understand why it does that. It resets your weapon modifications on guns randomly sometimes. It's the most annoying bloody thing it could do. Really annoying. Anyway, I'm the Fedora Bandit, and welcome to the video. That's literally all I have to say for an intro, because I didn't do it on the other one. I just jumped straight in. Anyway, Felucia, let's do it. I know, the blaster does not match the timeline. No, I don't care. Where does he think he's going? Ah, whatever. Why did he... Whatever. I'm not going to get bogged down thinking about why he literally ran around there just to go that way when he could have just come this way. It's just daft. I forgot to change the bloody star cards again! Oh, I'm terrible for this. I literally, in the last video, just finished recording. I literally forgot to do it, and now I forgot to do it again. I'm honestly hopeless for this. Do you know what? We're going to use this actually, the CR2, because I actually quite like it. For God's sake! Oh, I'm sorry guys. I'm terrible for fucking forgetting these things. Oh Christ! We're already 2 minutes in if we've done dick all on the video. Anyway. That grenade was pointless. What are we going to say? I was going to say something. Oh, yes. So, there will be some videos this weekend. There may or may not be any tomorrow, though. Just got to see how I am when I wake up in the morning. You know, I get this morning still tired, so I'm doing these videos, and in the silent moments in between, like just now, I'm literally just yawning. But anyway, one aspect of Star Wars I think got not enough like elaboration on, which is from the films, was actually like the weapons side of things, and you know how at the time independent planets like Naboo actually made, or at least had developed their own weapon. Cheers for that, mate. But you know what I mean, like, they've actually got their own selection of weapons, you know, you've got the S5, you've got the CR2, and probably a few others that I'm not quite aware of as well. What's that prick that blew me up? Haha! Serves you right, bitch! Anyway. What was it? Oh, yeah. And now, the other thing I find interesting, right, is the weapons that are part of culture in Star Wars. The most obvious example being the bow rifle from Sat. That I find to be quite interesting. Because it's not necessarily just a weapon, it's actually part of their culture. And that attention to detail, I think helps it feel very... Oh, he's there. Thanks, everyone. Authentic. It definitely makes it seem a lot more real somehow to me. But that's the thing, you know, when you're playing a game, when you're watching a film, when you're invested in a franchise, you wanna feel it, you know, you wanna feel like maybe it's actually happened or it's happening almost. I mean, it's obviously not. It's obviously fiction. There's far too many things that don't make sense. but at the same time, you want to be immersed in it. And Star Wars, for me, was one of the first things I ever truly got immersed in. It was that and Cars, like actual Cars, not like the franchise, although it did kind of start with the Cars franchise. You know, I've been Disney, and I was actually there at one point when they were building one of the Galaxy's Edge areas, and that was really interesting to see because just a little bit they'd already constructed, you know, the landscape bits and a few props.
There is no chaos.
It looked so amazing. And when I went back a couple of years later or so, or a few years later rather, to see it finished, you know, to see the ships there, to see bloody stormtroopers walking about, bickering with Kylo Ren, you know, it just felt so real in a way. And this is, I know at the minute I'm talking about Disney, like the place, you're thinking, well, what the fuck is that got to do with the game? That's the interesting thing, is that it does actually, because there are bits that I notice in, say, Galaxy's Edge, well, not sort of Galaxy's Edge, but certain Disney bits I notice that actually appear, well, of course, in this game. You know, you've got the Clone Wars and that, although not any of the Disney Clone Wars bits, as it were, as I call them. You know, the last season. What was it? Season 7? Yeah. Anyway. Oh, hello.
Whoever holds those positions controls the sector.
It's a horny bastard. I'm sorry, is that technically racist? I don't know, because I mean, that brats naturally have horns. Do you know what? I'm not going to go into a self-debate about it. But, yeah. It didn't do much good, did it? Anyway, I'm sorry. No, my point is, though, is that, you know, I like how in these different areas of the Star Wars universe, I guess you could say, from the games to the theme parks to, you know, the films, you get bits that cross over, bits that appear again. You know, you get in the Battlefront game, the first one, you actually get a bow rifle. An actual bow rifle, as I alluded to in the last video. You know, you get a variant of the Imperial version, and that alone in Star Wars was a very rare thing. You never really saw that until Rebels. Well, I always thought it was quite interesting that, you know, it kind of crosses over. And the reason I bring that up is because I've noticed in the gaming industry recently that some games just haven't really been doing that. This is going to sound like this is going to be a bit of a weak critique point, but Need for Speed, for example, doesn't really do that. In the sense where you get some references to, you know, like Need for Speed Most Wanted, and in the dialogue and stuff, you get some references to the games that came before it, the underground games, literally just cars that are kind of in the game. So only kind of, because they're very evident fan service. Whereas in Battlefront, in the Battlefront franchise, the fan service is part of the game. And what I mean by that is, it's immersive. It's not something that, you know, doesn't plausibly make any sense, for example. And even if it doesn't make sense, it still works, it still fits. Like, say you play offline in the arcade mode, you play Darth Vader, I don't know, on Camino, right? It doesn't make any sense, but it's not like a million miles away from making some amount of sense, because as you know from the various bits of Star Wars media, he has definitely been to Camino. But you can do that, you know, if you want to go up against the droids as Rey for some bizarre reason, you can do that. And I like these kind of like what-if sort of things you can do yourself with this game. I think it really does add to it. I know I've just spent like the last 5 to 10 minutes chatting a lot of random crap, but hey, that's what YouTube's for, huh? Gaming and just chatting shit. Literally. That is the definition of YouTube, if you ask me. So I've just got to check the video time. Oh wow, we're at fucking 10 minutes already. So we've got 5 minutes to see how much we can get done on this map. The last video, the Camino one, I reckon I've realised now, looking back at it, that I accidentally cut the video a couple of seconds too short, and you didn't see whether I won or lost. Well, you can probably notice that I won. I accidentally cut it before the thing where it says victory. I apologise for that if anybody was hoping to see that. Yeah, my bad. So, I mean, going back to my point about attention to detail, I mean, look at this tank, right?
Master Kenobi has joined us.
You're thinking, it's a Star Wars tank, so what? But you can clearly see it, as the old saying goes, it definitely got put through the ringer. I mean, look at it. I mean, look at that. Look at that. That attention to detail, like, right there. Just the bits of flame and damage on it. Just, I mean, look at the splash effects even when you're walking the puddles. How cool is that? I mean, there's even the bloody Sarlacc pit down in the other section, which I think is really cool. Wait, look. You've literally got that there from the actual
Boss just joined the enemy.
Clone Wars series. Which is just awesome. Oh my god. Ah! They just got fucking yeeted.
Prepare for another attack, brothers.
Oh, we might actually just make it, guys. We might actually just make it to the very end of the map before the video has to end. But I mean, look at that. I love this game. I'm just gonna have to say it. I fucking love this game, you know. I know I've been doing a lot of Need for Speed, but I'm gonna start doing a lot more like stuff on this game. I'm gonna go through all the instant action maps, both in attack and defend, and then if I get any requests for it, I will do the supremacy versions as well. I might do a few of those anyway, because there's a few more maps on that one. So I was not expecting that guy to be there. But also, if I wanted, like, technologically better, I would, in theory, actually go with Star Wars Outlaws. The reason I'm not going to do any content on that game, the reason I'm not planning on it, is for one very good reason. It's a bit, how do I say it, lackluster, I find. Like, the story is, don't get me wrong, it's a good game and the story's good and that, but I find that I don't know, I just find that it went from 0 to 100 a little bit too instantly. Like, I would have liked to have seen some more build-up, you know, we actually recruit the crew members and, like, say, in Mass Effect, you earn their trust and loyalty and that has an effect. You know, if you do something that will piss them off, that has an effect, sort of thing. I would have liked to have seen something like that, because I think that alone would have made Star Wars Outlaws really my first choice for uploading a Star Wars video. I mean, you know, there's nothing wrong with this game, obviously, but I had considered Outlaws, but that's why I didn't do it, because I just felt that there isn't really enough in the game as opposed to this, you know, to Battlefront 2. And I understand that the game, there's... Shit, we only got about a minute left on the video. Anyway, I'm going to finish up my point by saying I understand that with Outlaws there's a lot of, how do I say it, mixed opinions. But I know with this game at the minute, most people think quite positively of it. Which is always good for the YouTube algorithm. Anyway, I'm going to have to end the video off now. Don't worry, I will win this. Even if I have to restart. So, I'll be uploading this video this afternoon. And if you've seen it then whatever. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. And see you next time. Goodbye.